Hey everybody, TacticAngel here, coming back to you from the world of tanks on the PlayStation 4. We're here to talk about this little tank. This is the AMX 1357, not to be confused with the AMX 1375. And if you've followed how the French like to number these tanks, or how Wargaming like to number the French tanks in this line, 1357 means it has a 57 millimeter gun, and honestly at tier 7 that's kind of weird, but this has an 8-shot auto loader, and that's kind of why I always wanted this tank. Lucky enough I won one, and here it is. Just taking it out, trying to farm the mercenary stuff. For whatever reason, the French auto-loading light tanks seem to be a tank you can use for every mercenary contract ever, or even have to. So, for better or worse, we now have a new toy. 1357. Reason why it's interesting is that 8-shot autoloader, the crazy fast interclip reload, and honestly the reload on this is pretty slick too. You can reload all 8 of those shells in around 15-16 seconds base, and then I'm not actually running a very good crew in this, so I'm doing it in around 15.5 seconds. That's great. If you've ever played a French medium or heavy or light tank with these oscillating turrets, you know that you're usually out of the game for half a minute, sometimes close to a minute. As for the gun itself, not super accurate. It's .37. That's kind of Japanese medium tank level of accuracy, which means you can hit a lot of stuff you aim at, but you know, you also have plenty of opportunity to be disappointed. Once it hits, it has around 140 pen, which is usually good enough for a light tank. You shouldn't be shooting too many things in their face. You should probably be shooting them in the side, or even better, in the butt. If you really need to, you can dab into your premium ammo, and then you're looking at more like 195 penetration, which, I don't know. I've got some on this. I've got enough to run 2 clips. That's really just in case I run into some crazy thing like a Maushan or T50. Or not a T57. I can't do that anymore. No more fail platoons. As you can see, this is recorded as of 4.7, so we have the new ribbons up there, which are extremely colorful and a little bit confusing. And then we also have the new damage trackers, so we'll be able to see how much damage we do over the course of this battle. We'll also be able to see how much spotting I've assisted with, and if I wasn't in a French light tank, we would be able to see how much I've bounced. Naturally, I do not intend to bounce a lot of shots here. That was your first taste of what it's like to get focused down at close range by the 1357. Just silly. I know that when I have been playing against this, I have a reasonable amount of self-control, but I think a lot of players kind of panic when they start getting shot, because you're not really, you know, paying attention to exactly how many hit points you have, and when you get hit, it's not as apparent that I'm only hitting you for 92 damage, 99, 95, like I can see I'm hitting him. Most of the time, I would be like circling around behind you, and then all of a sudden you're getting hit. Oh, I'm getting hit again. Oh no! There must be a whole army of angry people behind me, but no, it's just the one light tank. So I finally take care of that charioteer. Charioteer was more right than I was that I was not going to be able to take him out. Thankfully, his reload is long enough that when he missed that shot coming around the bend, I had time to miss several shots and to connect with several more, and he's dead. So there we go. This is not a super good use of time if this was something other than a mutant, which has kind of a spongy side. I find that shooting it at well-armored targets at a distance, particularly if they have thick tracks and side skirts and all that stuff, starts to become a little bit pointless. Oh, it just feels so good to get all those shells out there. I like it. I like it a lot. That leaves us with just the mutant. We're gonna see if we can't drive down here. Let's see him from down below. Not much of a shot, but maybe if we just play the curvature of the Earth, of course. So this was my first ace mastery in this tank, and I include this because it makes me sad. I really like this tank, actually quite a bit. It's a real asshole sort of tank, and you play this. You can play the scout, and you can play the assassin. And the assassin role is kind of fun just because you've got that high action pop gun on it. But 2600 damage shouldn't be enough to get an ace mastery in this, which means I don't think that enough people have really given it a shot. It's a blast to drive because it's fast, and it's got that unique sort of min-max cannon on it. So here's another replay. This time we're on Kazarine. I am going to start this game playing conspicuously stupid. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm working on the Spyglass operation. Spyglass is a tier 6 light mercenary tank, and I'm sure that it's nowhere near as fun to play as this tank. That said, TacticAngel, didn't you just say in the last video you released that mercenary tanks weren't worth it? Yes, I did. And yet I continue to do it. I don't know, I think it's just an obsession. I like to play the weird tanks. I like earn ops. I like earning things. So anyway, we're trying to get like a scout medal or something, which means you have to like spot 9 people and win a game. It's just not going to happen on this. At this point I have to kind of start adjusting to the idea that this is going to be a normal-ish game. Take some pretty terribly aimed shots at that MT-25. Now we're shooting at the WZ. You can make that accuracy work. You can see that it actually still aims pretty well, because when I was at a full bloom it was still tightening up, even though I was firing way too fast. And it really does encourage you to fire just about as fast as you can, because why would you be playing this tank if you didn't? So Jagdpanther starts looking at me. I think I'm gonna move. I'm gonna start playing the up close and personal assassin, and this kind of gives you a good look at what this tank can do. in more of the RC mobile death car capacity. I'm really surprised at the accuracy on the move. Look around the corner here, we got a T-3488. I'm doing terrible things to his life just with auto aim. And then we managed to get away. Here's that fairly quick reload. Use the handbrake. I'm going to start shooting at this Kraft Panzer because he appears to be giving someone else a hard time. Honestly, I get more experience for shooting at him, but he is definitely, clearly, a lesser threat than the lower tier T-3488. T-3488 is probably a little bit OP. Poor Kraftspanzer. The Panther has been completely left in the dust by World of Tanks, and it would be really nice if they upgraded it so it was a fun and interesting tank to play. It has a vaunted place in history that really the game doesn't do much justice. In any case, if we had one more shot there at the end, we would have gotten our 5th kill. In this case, we did a little bit better. I still feel like this number's a little low in order to get an Ace Mastery badge, but what are you gonna do? Made 100K, pretty nice. Part of that is the Twitch Prime op, which is giving you an extra 15%. But there you go, 2,800 damage. It's a little bit more respectable. So sad panda time. I have this tank, and I also have the AMX Chaffee, and they're both Tier 7 French light premium tanks, and I think that this is the better vehicle. I think that it is definitely more fun to play. AMX Chaffee's a little sluggish. It might do a little bit more damage per clip, but the clip reload is longer. Like, this one hardly feels like an inconvenience to reload. So anyway, that's my opinion. Here are my efficiencies. I'll wrap this up pretty quick. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you out there on the battlefield.